Section 3.7, example 54, integrating a discontinuous integrand. So evaluate from -1 to 1, 1 over x cubed. So say whether the improper integral converges or diverges. All right, so this being discontinuous, what is the problem? So the problem lies here whenever because between -1 and 1, we're going to be somewhere at 0. So we have 1 over 0, which is a big problem. So what we're going to do is approach 0 from the left and also approach 0 from the right. So we're breaking this up into two different integrals. So the first one being from -1 up to 0 of x, I'm going to write it like this, dx. And then we're going to go from 0 to 1, x to the -3 dx. So looking at those two, from here, we're going from -1 up to 0. So we're going to approach 0 from the left. So this is going to be the limit as b approaches 0 from the left of -1 to b, x to the -3 dx, plus the limit as a approaches 0, this time from the right. So from 0 up to 1. And this one's going to be from a to 1, x to the -3 dx. And now let's integrate. Still having the limit as b approaches 0 from the left. We have x to the -2, and -1 over 2. Evaluated from -1 up to b, plus the limit as a approaches 0 from the right, a -1 over 2 x to the -2, evaluated from a to 1. And now let's start. So we have -1 over 2, and we have 1 over b squared minus -1 to the -2. We'll evaluate that right now. That's limit as b approaches 0 from the left, and the limit as a approaches 0 from the right. -1 over 2. Here we have 1 to the -2, which is still going to be 1. We have a to the -2. All right, now let's see, what does this mean? So as we approach 0 from the left side, we go off to infinity. So it doesn't matter where that value is. Approaching it ends up looking like this too. So approaching it from the left or right, that part goes to infinity. This part ends up going to 1, so we have -1. But even just stating that that part goes to infinity tells us that it's not going to be converging, it's going to be diverging. But let's just see what the rest of this is. 1, and then we have minus another infinity. So yeah, this is going to diverge to infinity. And there we go. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, bye.